Monster, hey buddy, can you hear me? Give me 1 second. Yeah, you should be able to hear me, right? I think you should be able to hear me. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. Let me know if you can hear me well and loud and stuff. Awesome. I was doing some audio differences. I'm now using XLR cable, so I hope that the sound is super awesome. I mean, it was always awesome before as well, but hopefully it's still very good. It should be actually even better now, but I'm not sure. Okay, give me a second. Let's get started. I hope you guys are having a good time. Let's see what's happening with my Windows Linux subsystem. Something's weird's happening. It's a bit slow, but it actually doesn't matter. Let me just close up some of the stuff. I was recording some YouTube video, and then let's see what the hell is happening with this guy here. Yeah, there's something wrong. Hey, situation. Likewise, man. Likewise. And thank you for joining, dude. Christmas didn't. Yeah, there's something with my Windows Linux subsystem. Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, now it's running. Okay. Emacs, say there. It's I don't know what the hell is happening. Like it doesn't like it. You implemented a nice, dude. Very good, dude. That's amazing. Then, well, then I might start using it. If you did that, then I might start using it. Which email did I use? All right, I'll need probably to reset my password. Okay, let's start the stream and then but that's very good, man. I need to reset my password most likely. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do today. I wasn't sure if I'm gonna stream, but my wife is fine with kids, so did I pin the programmer network there? I did, right? Very good. Becomer, I like it. Okay, let's get somewhere today. Let's code a little bit today and answer some questions and stuff. Yeah, we'll probably continue now building our mastery tracks. Mr. Situation, yeah. I mean, my smallest one, he's 5 months old, so he's not yet conscious of such concept as a gift. But the older one, Nikolai, he was, yes, definitely yes. And I'm gifting myself some time to code here and do some things. Let's open up our cursor. Have we done that already? Oh wait, I still have this video editor. I was trying to record some videos for YouTube and I kind of failed there. Oh yeah, it is open. Okay. Okay, it's kind of struggling to open the Windows Linux subsystem. Yeah, that's not very good. That's not very good, to be very frank with you fellas. Why Windows Linux subsystem? Yeah, it's that email, yeah. Wait a minute, restart VSL2. How do we do that? VSL, let's do that in PowerShell, right? Let's go PowerShell. And let's kind of shut it down. Let's close that. Okay, let me try now again to kind of boot it up. And in the meanwhile, let me read the question. I had a question. I don't really know if you had faced a similar issue, but I'm working on a project and we are using nodejs as a backend, and we have an endpoint for uploading files. Later on, we noticed that when someone uploads a large file, it freezes the whole backend. So I looked for a solution, and the potential solution I found is using something like bullmq, a message queue solution. Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, I can help you there a lot. Let me kind of Chica, thank you, man. Likewise. Let me draw that for you, your problem monster, and then yeah, I can definitely help you. Okay. So let me show you what's happening. Okay. So this is you, and then I'll also give you a concrete solution to that problem. This is you uploading an image, right? And this is your API, right? So you say, post, and you do some multi-part data, right? Post multi-part data, right? Hopefully you're using some buffering, some streaming protocol. Hopefully you're kind of sending some chunks and not the whole file, right? Now, and of course many users can try to do this as well, right? So many users can try doing this, right? So of course I don't know. You didn't tell me that how you're doing it right now, so I don't know all the. Yeah, okay, that is then terrible. Okay. That's not going to work. So basically what you do right now, you have a file. So you have a file that you load into memory, and then your API is processing that file. Let's imagine now that, let's say that Kubernetes or Docker Compose, you have a limit for your API to have 500, so half gig of RAM, right? Let's say half a GB of RAM, right? So essentially, if you have, if let's say each file is 5 megabytes and you have 102 users uploading, you would be out of memory, right? Assuming, of course, that memory was all free, which it wasn't, right? So the idea of just uploading a whole file is pretty terrible.
Programmer network updated.
Thank you very much for the follow. Okay, that's number one. Now, of course, number two is, so yeah, you're using and this is where protocols, and this is where certain parts of protocols matter, right? Like, so for example, instead of sending a whole file, you could be streaming that file, blah, 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 but that's beside the point. Now, just to cut to the chase, so I can start the stream and start programming here. Yes, BullMQ is we use it on Programmer Network as well, and BullMQ essentially is a messaging queue system and a scheduler, right? So note that because Node.js is single-threaded, every time you do this file upload, for example, or anything else, you're essentially putting that in the main thread, and then you're eventually blocking your main thread to process anything else, especially if you're doing it, of course, synchronously, right? So what this BullMQ does, it runs as part of your Node.js process, even though you could run it as a microservice as a different process, but you don't need to do that. What you do basically, because this is a messaging queue service, you could say, it's gonna take that file and it's gonna put it on a different thread, right? So it's gonna process it somewhere here, let's say. Let's just be very primitive. And then when it's done, it's gonna go back and say, hey, I'm done with this file. And typically the way that this works, there's going to be some UID associated with that process that finished, whatever, and then it's going to deliver you back file. So of course, when you introduce something like this, it's going to spawn another worker basically in your API. It's not going to do it on the main thread, and then you will process the file there. Now, of course, this doesn't relieve you of sending the whole file. That's still wrong. So basically now what you're doing, you're essentially saying, hey, you do the file processing, like, so you're saying you do the file processing, which it should, right? These two guys are going to communicate, but still you shouldn't be sending the whole file. You need to use the correct data stream, right, to send that file in chunks, right? So if you go like Node.js data streaming, for example, you can go to stream. This is the core stream module, so I highly advise you to read about it, right? Stream is also very important from the perspective of data, of engineering, software engineering, and knowing, right? But as you can see, a stream is an abstract interface for working with streaming data, blah, blah, blah. There are many stream objects provided, la, la, la. There's a writable stream, readable stream, duplex, both ways, basically, right? And you will see it's a fairly simple, actually, maybe 15 years ago, Node.js had something called Node.js Cool, I believe. Yes, man, they still have it. So, okay, great. Regardless of your skills, I would highly advise you to go through this. So if you kind of install this crap, so let's kind of do it together. We say pmpmi -g Becca, yes, Christmas stream, yes. I just some extra time jumped in. My wife nodded the head when I said, can I stream? So I'm just, but I would highly advise Monster, like if you, just for the fun's sake, sit on your own, make yourself a tea, some cookie or whatever, and go through this. And I'll show you now. It's a very nice, this is a very old service. This was created when Node.js came out. So if we now go, so you can see here, baby steps. So you can see here, they have something like my first input-output I/O, my first async I/O, right? So actually, if you get somewhere here, they will be also talking about streams as well. I don't remember where it was, but you will actually find it. And I actually think that they may be, no, here it is, Stream Adventure. Sorry, here it is. It's called Stream Adventure. So let's try that together. We did, Rebecca. We did. But regardless of what it is, what Mr. Situation is saying is not wrong by no means. It's very true. There are many ways, of course, to you know, there are many ways to solve this. But you can see here, if you do this Stream Adventure, it's a very nice resource because here you can kind of go through the whole like, and maybe potentially these guys are sponsoring my stream. Let me just find it. Where is it? These guys, Code Crafters, these guys are sponsoring my stream. I would highly suggest this is also super amazing service as well. And I don't know if they have any streams implementing your own stream. I mean, that's of course unnecessary, but I'm kind of on purpose going a little bit overboard here. But yeah, maybe take a look at these guys. So actually, you can click it. You can go. You can do it. Do this. I actually made some money on you guys by doing this already. So basically, just to summarize two things, you have to use streams of some sort, or some similar data structure. I mean, data structures evolve over time. I don't know if there's anything similar like streams, but you need to chunk that data. You need to kind of, in human language, not to use these acronyms and fancy words. You need to take this book and send it from one location to another page by page. Take the page, take the page, take the page, instead of take this whole book, take one page, second page, right? That's what streaming basically is, right? Take... I know what will... Alex is actually already making something besides Programmer Network. It's called Solo Nest. I mean, there's a higher chance I make more money with that, Chica, than with what I'm doing now. So, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. No, but I don't think I'll ever get bored of Programmer Network. I love this network, man. I believe in it. I believe time will come when people will start respecting their own time, and they will seek for a platform like this. It's just, you know, and I've done zero marketing or anything like that. So time will come when more, I mean, we have 1,400 something users already. We just need to activate them and stuff like that. So, awesome. Okay, let's see. So basically, last thing I did on Programmer Network yesterday, keep in mind. Oh shit, did I push the light theme? Fuck, that was by mistake. I didn't want to do that. But as you can see, I have removed the landing page as some of you guys have suggested. So I reacted to community feedback. So as you can see now, landing page is gone. Now if I just do this a little bit like this, because my camera is too big. So you can see now that, yeah, now when you go to Programmer Network, you're going to see our feed and all of the features. And then you see this thing here. I got inspired by this other platform called, what was the name? Decentralized social platform. What was the name, man? Jesus Christ. Mastodon, yeah. So I got inspired by these guys, and I always want to be honest, of course. So they have... No, what the fuck is that? They have, like... Yeah, they have it here. right? Then I'm like, okay, let's also put it there because I really like, oh man, I love their landing page. How cool is this? Jesus Christ, man. So nice, so nice. Chica, you just got schooled, my bro. Okay, so anyway, there's one thing that I also liked from Mastodon that I really want us to implement, and it's their search. So here you can see if I search for Alexander, then they ask, hey, do you want to go to a hashtag? Go to profile matching, whatever. So so let's kind of maybe do this. I don't know what you guys think, but maybe we could do that today. Even though I do want to kind of finish the resubscribed 38 months. Jesus Christ, dude, you're crazy.
New follower detected. Programmer network.
I love you, man.
updated.
Not because you subscribe. That's thank you. It's a nice gesture, but because you're still around, man. I'm so happy, dude. You're my first viewer. That is my biggest win in since I was streaming, is having a guy who joined when I actively streamed 3 years ago, and he's still here. Thanks, buddy. I hope everything's good with the baby and stuff, and that you guys are handling everything. Nice, dude. Yeah, our smaller one is 5 months old now, so he's also growing. So they're not that much apart. I think so. Like, is there a way to see that? I don't know. Let me see. I don't know when I started streaming. I have no idea. Let's see that. Let's go settings. Is there a way to see that somewhere? Nice, man. Nice, dude. Time's flying. Exactly, dude. Exactly. I don't know if there's... I don't use this platform much. I don't know, like, where can I check that? Is there, like, 29 viewers, followers, subscribers, 10? I don't know, where can I check that? Analytics, maybe? Average viewers, followers, subscriptions, revenue... Nah, stream summary maybe. No, I don't know. I have no idea. But you know how it is, Rebecca. I haven't also streamed for like a year, so I think I streamed for the first time maybe 3 years ago. But then there've been years when I haven't, right? So yeah. Okay, cool story, man. Cool story, Alex. Very cool story. Let's do some stuff, guys. Let's do some stuff. We have an opportunity to kind of try and release this already. And I played some... we have an opportunity to maybe keep working on this. I really need to release this feature because I want to use it myself. Like, badly, I want to use it. So maybe we should continue with that and just have a chat in the meanwhile. So new track. I think I did kind of do a lot here. Let's see. JavaScript fundamentals, random drill, React, Kubernetes, whatever. And let's see, is our cursor actually working now? Come on, Windows Linux subsystem work? You can do it. Yes, it works. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me guys know if the music is too loud. I hope not. All right, so let's kind of let's open up our best friend AI here and kind of start slamming some shit. Backend is done for the most part. I actually had to do some maybe I need to also deploy the Yale, because I kind of did some changes there to our core library, so we'll need to kind of do that as well. We also added this white team. I don't know yet what I think about it. But let me ask you something, guys. So let me ask you, what do you think? So, right, so we're going to have this mastery tracks where you'll be able to generate some learning path for yourself. Do you think that we should generate some platform specific ones? Or do you think each individual user should just generate their own? Because you can see now what I did when you kind of come to the platform, like there are some tracks, platform generated tracks, but I don't know if anybody will care about that. So I wonder if like I just want to try and you know, simplify this platform, so not need to. So what do you guys think? Should we have some specific tracks when you come, or you come and it's just all empty? So if we open pgadmin, give me a second, I'll show you what I mean. Mr. Situation, I switched over to nest.js. Yeah, I mean, if you like these types of, if you enjoy some of these, like some of the pre-opinionated abstractions, right? You're gonna like nest.js, right? So there's nothing fundamentally that nest.js does wrong. It's just a domain-driven design type of framework, if you may. So it's really more about, do you need these abstractions or not? If you find it that it fits your kind of brain and stuff, then great. But I would say, yeah. Actually, let's discuss it a little bit, guys. I would really be grateful for your feedback. So I have a counter question. Is learning path personalized? Learning path is completely up to you, right? So let me actually demo you this feature right now. I mean, we're almost done with it. So the idea is, so again, for those of you who were here, I built a feature around this book called Ultra Learning. And then on top of that, I asked AI so after I read this book, I'm like, man, I need to build this knowledge into Programmer Network. And then I went ahead and spoke to AI further on to some other ideas. And then we came up with this feature here. And I'm going to kind of elaborate, and then you can give me feedback. So the idea is that, so the idea of ultra learning concept is, there are many ideas, so let me try to break them down. First idea is that when you're approaching learning, there are three concepts. There's like one framework: conceptual stuff, factual stuff, and procedural stuff. So conceptual stuff is like, I need to understand, you know, let's imagine we are talking about tennis, not programming. Conceptual stuff would be knowing what tennis is. Knowing, you know, that there are 2 players or 4, that there's a racket, that, you know, so you would have some conceptual understanding what tennis is. It's a sport, right? Facts would be certain rules around tennis. So knowing some factual things about the sport itself, and then procedures, as Scott Young calls it, are basically actionable things, the hardest things for most people, which is doing the thing. So now I know what tennis is. Now I know some facts about tennis. Now I need to take that racket and hit that forehand and backhand and slice a million times until I learn it. So in our context, if we translate that to technology, that means that if I want to learn Kubernetes, well, I need to understand what Kubernetes is, why the hell I want to learn it. I need to know some facts about Kubernetes API, the components, and blah, blah, blah. But then I need to open my terminal and run that kubectl command a million times. How, you know, then I need to get pods, right? Kubectl, right? So this would be that forehand in our case. So this framework that we're building, let's actually, somebody tell me, what do you want to learn, genuinely? Is there anything that you guys want to learn? And again, the beauty of this is, it doesn't have to be very general. Like maybe you want to say, I want to learn, let me show you. I want to learn more about K3S, Kubernetes backups. I'm using, let's say, Kubernetes as my remote cluster, and I misspelled that, it's with C, cluster, and I would like to learn more about backups, especially within Velero, Longhorn, PG native operator. And then I say, why do I want to do this? Incredibly important question when you are learning new things. Essential question is, why do I want to do this? I literally took out of the book explanations here so users understand their reasoning. So there are two reasons you really can there are only two reasons in your life why you might want to learn something. Personal interest, called intrinsic motivation, or career one, instrumental motivation. So intrinsic motivation refers to learning for its own sake, driven by curiosity, personal interest, and the joy of discovery. When you're intrinsically motivated, thank you very much, the learning itself is the reward. And I think for most people, this is often an issue. This thing that I highlighted, the learning itself is the reward. This is why many people start projects that they never finish, because they have intrinsic motivation, personal interest motivation, not a like a tangible outcome-based motivation. The career instrumental motivation, also called extrinsic, means learning as a means to an end, such as career advancement, job requirements, or achieving a specific goal. So important, so crucial. The learning is valuable for what it enables you to do. So you should aim whenever possible, unless you really have a lot of time in your life, to focus on things which are valuable to you. So for example, if you have to choose learning between Postgres and NeoVim, realistically for your career, your time is way better put learning SQL than learning a text editor that nobody gives a fuck about, right? If you're ever wondering, should you learn Emacs or React, you should learn React, because you can get a job by knowing React. You cannot get a job by knowing Emacs. So just to put something right, like if you are wondering if you should learn English or Taiwanese, it's still probably better to know English, because it can also help you in your career, right? Anyway, so if this works, I'm gonna click generate, and now we're basically hitting one of our better models. And now hopefully it's not gonna fail during this demo. We should generate, AI should generate for us some sort of a learning structured path to doing this, right? And it didn't. Beautiful. Let's see what happened. It farted out. Okay, it actually did. It did. All good, all good. I think our UI farted. It's fine. Fuck, it didn't. Okay, we need to try again. Something happened. Demo curse, no. Okay, I was hoping it did work. Okay, let's try that again. Shit, man. Okay, let's try K3S. Let's try this. No, farts are not disgusting. They're amazing. I'd like to learn more about using Longhorn and PG native operator. Actually, give me 1 second. Let's do one thing. What was it? What's happening? Where's my... I just want to see if our backend in fact has failed. I don't think so. No, it hasn't. So we almost kind of created something. Let's see. Is our UI failing? Because I think our UI is kind of failing. Let's see. I mean, it'd also be nicer if this was a bit faster, but okay. So the audit did finish. So we kind of, yeah, so that's good. Oh, okay, but then our backend didn't return anything, I suppose. And then we tried to basically, okay, so, but that's fine, actually. I mean, we want to actually ship this feature today anyway. So let's kind of go into debug mode and fix that. So essentially, so it seems that we got nothing back. Let's kind of get back here. So if we take a look at this emphasize, so of course this was undefined most likely, which is terrible. But let's kind of search for that thing here in the code. So we have the audit result, and then we have the preview. Yeah, exactly. And then, so we could kind of print the audit result here, and it's null. Okay, so essentially we got the null back. So essentially our backend responded with nothing. Oh, I see. So this is our response. Yeah, this is what we call. Then here's the audit result. If there's Redis, we kind of cache some result ID. Then we try to set that in Redis. Yeah, so this is what we're expecting, right? That kind of sucks ass. So if we go back here, and if we take a look at the schema... Wait a minute, no. Take a look at the schema. If you take a look at the response schema, it's a union of this and this. Okay, let's do one thing as a process of elimination. Let's just remove the response schema or any schema at all. And then kind of let's try to repeat this XHR, reply this XHR. Okay. And let's see our AI usage for this feature as well. Like this. Give me 2 seconds. Just gonna play some brain waves. Okay, so that's not good. Let's ask AI to help us debug. A little bit quicker. Why are we getting that as a response? While in the UI we are expecting size exclude sections to exist. Let's kind of see that about that very quickly. Okay, I see what I forgot to do, right? So basically what I forgot to do, so one of the evenings when I was coding this, where was this thing? Yeah, it makes total sense. So as you can see, what I basically did in here, I cached the result with the given ID, so we can kind of get the same result back without needing to call AI and waste our credits, right? So if we take a look at the audit track here, we're saying, hey, if the Redis connection is there, I mean, this thing is meaningless to ask. Actually, this is pointless, so we don't have to ask that. But either way, we basically generate a UUID for, and then we cache the audit result fully with that key, right? So next time we fetch this, we no longer need to run the same. Basically, we make it 100% deterministic, like based on the input, right? So let's see. Yeah, exactly. So this is fairly simple. Let's do that. Yep. And then this should go away. This little thing we have. Even though, right? I mean, now when I think about it, regardless if this, yeah, actually, yeah, I mean, that's great and all that, but like there's still no reason why. It's still very inefficient to just do this, because it would still, there's no reason for the UI not to get the full response first time. It's just like why do that extra lookup? But it also makes no sense to instantly return a full response here, so the UI can utilize it once the thing is generated for the first time. It makes no sense to do the initial round trip for no reason. Agreed. I mean, I shouldn't, yeah, this is a massive premature optimization. I mean, shouldn't have done this, honestly. Shouldn't have done this. Like, this will inflict more pain over time than not, but let's leave it for now. Because, I mean, why cache this, right? It is, yeah, we'll see. The time will tell, right? I don't know. No, I love AI. AI is very good, man. No, not disappointed at all. I still, of course, have to read. I mean, I would read the human input or AI input in the same way. We still have to do that, right? Because, you know, confusion goes both ways. Sometimes I might construct my thoughts poorly, or sometimes the AI might misunderstand it. But there's no difference between AI and humans in any shape or form. It's equally, both can equally get confused. So, you know, let's imagine I'd like to learn more about machine learning. I just want to test it. I have no prior knowledge and I'd like to start somewhere. Let's see. No, I'm by no means disappointed by AI. I think AI is absolutely fascinating. Of course, if you know what you're doing. If you don't, then, well, then you have to learn that first. But if you do know, it is an amazing, amazing tool. Especially for learning things. It's fascinating. Okay, let's see if we're gonna get that response back now. Okay, good. So now we're getting the full response back as we did before. Let's see the... Actually, one of my friends that works at Zendesk, last night we played some video games together. He gave me, I wrote it down, he gave me something that they use at Zendesk, a tool to kind of improve our prompts in our applications and our APIs, right? Sometimes results vary. Sometimes results vary from humans as well, right? So that is absolutely expected. Chandler, Merry Christmas as well, man. Yeah, definitely, man. The thing is, the quality of the output of AI is directly proportional to your input. So if you say fix, if you work in the agent mode and not in the plan mode, etc., etc. So I would say that AI agents are almost identical to humans. If you can elaborate your problem effectively, if you have a domain knowledge, if you provide the context, if you tell it what it is that you want, almost always certainly it's going to be useful. Even the shitty models. If you whatsoever drag some 5 files to it and say fix, then the result of that is going to be very poor. And this applies to both humans and AI alike, right? So I would say that what one needs with AI is patience, understanding, a lot of knowledge, a lot of technical knowledge. When you have the technical knowledge, AI is amazing. When you don't have it, then yeah, you can build prototypes and you can try to build things, but it's going to be very tough to build something that you can with certainty push and let someone use, right? No, for sure. But I mean, the thing is, like, I wouldn't make these, I wouldn't separate them. That's the thing, right? Have you tried anything besides? Yeah, I think I've tried a lot of tools, right? I've tried. I work as a tech lead, right? So my job is also at work to empower my team, to make my team more productive. So I kind of, it's part of my everyday job to be on top of things, right? Thank you very much, guys, for your follow. Thank you. So I've tried many things, and many things are great. I think overall, I use Gemini like manually. I use a lot of things, right? So there are many tools. For example, I use Notebook LM a lot. This is my go-to thing when I learn. I use this for everything, right? I have so many of my own. You see here, Rust, Danish. There's a lot of things I use it. I use Gemini a lot. I use Gemini for everything every day, to do market research, to you can see here, I mean, I use it 20 times a day for various types of things, right? So I use it a lot, and it's a fascinating technology. It's undeniable. Like we can resist it as long as we want it. It doesn't make it, right? Now, of course, humans by nature are ungrateful, and humans by nature are prone to criticizing. But what humans are often not prone to is doing something about things. So for example, very few people are stoic. So people just like to bitch without no action, right? So of course you're always gonna have this just like, oh, I asked AI this and it didn't give me the perfect answer. That level of ungratefulness towards such an amazing technology, to me personally, is fascinating and absurd at the same time. Like, dude, you have this tool that can save you thousands of hours of time every year, every month, every day, and then you find one thing to pick on, right? And say, yeah, but you see, this is why it's not great. It's like, dude, this is the 1,000 reasons why it's great, and then you found this one reason here that's not, right? It's just fucking plain dumb, man. That's because humans by nature like to bitch about things, and you're always gonna have these types of people who do that, right? So unaware, with no self-critique, no self-awareness, is like, dude, how quickly did you go from contributing 0 to this human miracle to saying, oh my god, it sucks? It's for me, it's like, I've been using AI for 4 years now. I've been programming for 20 years or more, and it's amazing. Every single day I get so excited using it. I can learn so many things. I empower myself every day. I learn so many things every day, you know. Dude, I want to learn, I don't know. I want to become expert in SQL. Literally sit with Gemini guided learning for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, do 2-hour sessions a day, 1 hour, you'll do it for free. No more paying for mentors. To me, that's like, what, right? No, sure. So I'm just saying basically how I see it and how I use it. If other people have different experience, that's on them, I believe. I don't. My experience with it is it's insanely good. But let's. I'm sorry for the drama. Let me show you what I learned last night from my friend. He shared this tool with me, so I just want to show it to you and kind of show it to you and show you what it does. So let me put a problem that. So let me tell you how AI is used in products today. Almost every single AI product that you are using today or that you might be using is a prompt. Cursor is a prompt with some layers. So basically, if you go to Programmer Network and you try to type here, hey guys, how are you? And you try to post this, you're gonna get a response from AI. Hey man, this platform is not for saying shit like that. If you try to upload a porn image on Programmer Network, AI is gonna tell you you can't upload porn. So what does that mean? That means that nearly all AI features online are abstractions over prompts. Why am I saying this? Because when you start using prompts as a feature, you need a way to A/B test these prompts, right? So for example, let me give you an example. Now we're building this mastery tracks as part of Programmer Network. Behind these, the UI and the API is several prompts. And I keep adjusting these prompts now in development, right? But how do you measure that your current changes or future changes are better than what you had before? So you need a way to A/B test that and then have sufficient amount of data to say, okay, well, objectively, based on the errors and our expectations, this is better or worse, right? You need to measure. If you want to do any stuff of anything, you need to measure. And this is basically what my friend from Zendesk, Adrian, last night when we played some video games together on Discord, he said that at Zendesk they're using LangFuse and they're using Brain Trust. This Brain Trust is not free, so that for our platform it goes off. But LangFuse we can host on my Kubernetes here in my home server, and then we can push this to production as well. So in simple words, as we can see, let's actually try to observe this together. Nah, that's not what I want. Get demo. I mean, we could in theory like host this locally already. Let's see. We could in theory, they have a self-host here. They have Docker. We could run it as part of our Kubernetes, or we could run it as part of Docker Compose on this computer for start. But either way, look, let's not get guided in a wrong direction. So in one of the next streams, we will be setting this up. I think this is valuable information for all of you. Just so you know, I have several friends working as AI engineers today. Just so you know, their job, 80% of their job is massaging prompts. So if you're ever wondering what is the AI engineer role, 80% of your time is making the prompt better. That's it. And playing with different models. So let's switch this model with this prompt, this model with this prompt, this model with this prompt, and see the results that we get, right? So these types of tools are very good to know moving forward into the future, because we're going to be spending a lot of our time prompting, literally. Now, the prompting... No. So sure. I learned SQL long ago. I was just saying that you could learn anything within 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks today, if you can devote 1 or 2 hours a day.
Programmer network updated.
Chandler, thank you very much for the follow, man. I appreciate it. So if you go to, let me show you how. And I actually created an ultra learning agent. I don't know if you can open this, I'm not sure, but I've created ultra, and you will be able to do this on Programmer Network as well. But if you come here, right, you come to Gemini, you say, look, you say guided learning, and you say, I don't know, I'm an X, let's say, I'm a senior software engineer, tech lead, and I would like to master Postgres SQL in 2-3 weeks. And let's say realistically in 3 weeks, I'm willing to spend 1 hour, no, not enough, 2 hours a day. Let's create a plan. Let's imagine this, right? I don't think it is at all. No, I don't think it is. I think that's very, very possible. You could learn JavaScript in 3 weeks with only... that is very kind of, I would say... The thing is, like Harari says, we need to agree on definitions. Agreeing on definitions in conversations is crucial for our conversations to go in a productive way. So when you say learn JavaScript in 3 weeks, that means very little. Learn what exactly? Because learning something, every concept you learn it on a certain level. So learn it relative to whom, everything is relative, right? So when you say learn it, that really boils down to what you mean, right? When I say learn Postgres well, that means enabling yourself to be professionally profound in that database, that you're able to query things, analyze your queries, etc., etc. JavaScript and language, that's a very broad thing. JavaScript is a language that runs in the browser, right? And on the backend now as part of V8. So the definition of learning that can vary, right? You can learn JavaScript. JavaScript actually as a language is fairly small. So if you know some other language already, if you already are a well-defined engineer, yes, you can definitely learn JavaScript in 3 weeks easily, because JavaScript is a very small language. Now, the reason why that often feels not true, and often why people don't know some of these details, is that the whole DOM, Document Object Model API, HTML5 History API, all of the APIs are not part of the JavaScript language, they're part of the browser. So you have to also separate what is the JavaScript language, which is basically the ECMAScript language specification, right? Right, so if you're learning it for the first time, yeah, you can learn the core constructs of a language in 3 weeks, easily. You can learn the core constructs of any language in 3 weeks, right? So, but of course, learning is like becoming an expert in anything. That also has, right? So can you learn JavaScript in 3 weeks so you can write functions, compose them, write statements and loops and data structures? You absolutely can, yes. Will you become an expert in prototypal inheritance, the whole ECMAScript spec? Of course not. But you will learn it well, right? So yes, so today you can easily do that. Easily do that, yes. Okay, so we're gonna leave this maybe for another time when I stream. I'm gonna set this up as part of our Kubernetes. Again, that is very vague, chap, right? You're making an assumptions maybe through your own experience, and that's fine. Obviously, we all make assumptions and we all project things based on what we think, but things are relative, right? Things are very, that depends how much do you know about meta learning, how much have you developed your meta learning skills, how many methods and frameworks of learning you know and you apply, how much you procrastinate, how much you're able to focus, how much you're trained to focus and stuff. So never underestimate the ability of one to know how to learn, right? Unfortunately, most people suck at meta learning, aka learning how to learn, right? So there's highly effective people who are able to learn Chinese in 3-4 months, right? No, I'm just mentioning some concepts from the Ultra Learning book, but in generally just talking about ability of one to learn, right? That is a very, very broad spectrum. Some people have developed themselves over years following core principles of learning to learn things very quickly. So basically focus on core of the things and then not focus on the things that don't matter, right? As I basically wrote when I wrote my Kubernetes guide, if you go here, right? So for example, if you take a look at the Pareto principle, right? So this is one of the principles I'm talking about. You have Feynman principle, you have Pareto principle, you have meta learning, various meta learning principles. But you can see the Pareto principle, known as the 80% rule, the law of the vital few, and the principle of factor sparsity, states that for many outcomes, roughly 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. So once you really internalize this, you basically realize how much it matters to apply this exclusion framework when you're learning things. So you kind of exclude a bunch of garbage that you don't have to learn now and focus on the on 20% that affects other 80%, right? So that applies to programming as well. It applies to everything. But this is meta learning, unfortunately, is not taught in schools because schools still to this day teach you information. They don't teach you how to fish. They don't give you the tools to get better and better and better at learning. You're just reading some fucking garbage, and then you go and you say it, and then you forget it in 3 days, right? Give me 1 second. You need to read a couple of books on this. Article is not enough. You need to read a couple of books on that in order to truly internalize it. But reading an article is meaningless, right? That's gonna give you nothing. You need to, these principles are like religion, right? It's same with religious people. The reason why religious people get spiritually fulfilled is because they constantly repeat the same thing. Some of them pray, some of them do this, some of them do that, but it is the process of constant reminder, constant repetition that gets you there. What you're describing is a passive learning. You just read something, you have the knowledge, but it's not an active learning. It's not something you have actually applied, right? Yeah, it's all about being actionable, right? It's all about the procedures. It's all about executing on the learning. So again, there's 99% of people on this earth are passive consumers of content. You guys now are passively consuming my stream. You're not really doing anything. You're gaining some knowledge. I'm giving you some information. You're consuming that information, but you're not actionably applying it anywhere. So for example, once my stream ends, if you just hear this crap and you don't react to it in any shape or form, it's useless information. And that's why 99.9% of the crap that you consume every day is meaningless, because you're doing it passively. You're gonna probably shut down my stream, some of you in 2 minutes or right now. You're gonna go to some other stream, and then you're gonna consume some random garbage there for another 5 minutes. Then you're gonna switch to YouTube, then you're gonna switch to your phone, then you're gonna switch to your Netflix, and you're constantly being a victim of passive consumption of something that, you know, doesn't give you any benefits, right? You're just having this false sense of learning. But learning can only come from execution, right? So that is the problem. It's like wanting to play football. You cannot learn football laying on your couch. You can learn the rules, right? You can know all the players. You can know all the strategies, but you need to run and hit that ball. So that is the difference, right? So most people are passive consumers. That's why all of these YouTubers are millionaires, because you have a bunch of idiots just consuming that to oblivion, right? What if I watch a video code? Yeah, that's passive learning. Again, passive learning is only good if you eventually turn it into active. So for example, you watched Alex's stream, you watched my stream, and then I incentivized you to become better. So it's like, fuck, this guy is saying at least something that makes sense, let me try that. And then you try to truly apply certain principles and make it actionable. If you, again, leave this stream, and then in 2 days from now, you're gonna forget about me and anything that I said, you have basically been maybe entertained at best. So, okay, Alex helped me kill 20 minutes of my time, or 40 minutes or 5 minutes before I went to consume someone else's content, so he or she can entertain me again. So everything that you consume that you don't really apply is just killing your time. That's it. Then I don't know why you're watching this stream now in the first place. Just quit this stream now and go watch Netflix. Why the fuck are you watching somebody write code if you're not going to apply any of that? I mean, honestly, objectively, watching Netflix is probably way more fun than watching me, right? Right? I mean, with that exception, if that is true, right? So, so try to, apply things that you hear. Otherwise, it all goes to shit. It's meaningless. There's no value in it at all. You're talking about doing project-based amongst the things. Yes, for sure. That's one of the things I'm saying. Yes. Like I code stuff along with. No, it's not. You should focus. You should turn off people. You should try to fully focus on the thing at hand. Like, let me tell you some principles of focus. Right? There are 3 things when it comes to focus, and this is very important. This is out of the books I read, so it's not out of my asshole. So hear me out. There are 3 things you can do to focus. Number 1 is create the environment around you that makes you focus. So, for example, if you're trying to focus, but you have a Twitch streamer on one screen, your cell phone next to you, your tablet pinging in the background, etc., that's not an environment to focus. So the environment to focus is the environment where you fully devote to the thing at hand. So if you're trying to write an article, turn off internet, turn off bullshit, take your phone in a different room, and then you can focus. Number 2 is basically trying not to procrastinate, of course, and this is where most people fail, right? Finding the reasons why you can't focus, right? So fundamentally, you have to discover what is the source of your lack of focus. Is it some internal battles that you're fighting with yourself? Are you depressed, sad, happy, lonely, miserable, whatever? If you are, in order to overcome that, number 1 thing is that you acknowledge that is the thing. So for example, if you're sad, don't try to fight that sadness in that sense. Just acknowledge that and try to get better at being able to focus relative to these emotions, because we're not robots, right? And 3, there's 2 different types of focus. There's a short-term focus and there's long-term focus. Focus that's better applied to complex problems. So this is the type of focus you get when you're showering, when you're cooking dinner and stuff. This, in fact, is the type of focus you need to learn and do complex things. When you come back out of gym, for example, that's when you're energized. That's when you have these high bursts of energy. That type of focus is good for very short bursts of things. Oh, I need to quickly do this. I need to. So basically, even the energy levels when it comes to focus are bound around the like what type of focus you can acquire, right? So if you have super high energy, you can't do highly complex things because you're gonna get like too anxious, and then you're gonna start shooting all over the place. If you kind of can reduce that energy a little bit down, like for example, you know, whatever, then you can maybe do highly. So there's a lot of these things that are scientifically proven. I didn't come up with this bullshit. This is not my opinion. It's also things that I read and I try to apply. Redis, I don't know what Valkey is. I've never heard of that. Big Art Tech, hey buddy, I don't know what Valkey is. I've been using Redis for 20 years, so basically that's why. I've never heard of this before. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I'm just being honest with you. I've never heard of this before. Yeah. Performs better how? Can you be more specific? Performs better how? In which sense? Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of this before. Yeah. I mean, okay, but so these are theoretical numbers, right? So of course we're not building another Netflix or Google, right? So I don't think that these are necessarily values that I care much about, right? So it has to be more realistically tangible. Because in 20 years of my experience, I never cared about obscure, ambiguous, useless benchmarks. Like this, in a hello world context, this can deliver this many requests. I don't care about these benchmarks, right? So is there something more tangible, realistically tangible for a normal type of company? Yeah. Okay, that big art tech, I agree. No, but you see, now you caught my attention way more. So I agree with you. Like, for example, if Redis has updated their licensing, which they did, then absolutely. I would say that's way better argument. I would say that the argument of performance and stuff when it comes to Redis, you really, 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 really need a massive amount of scale and traffic to reach a point where you even consider this, okay, shit, man, Redis is no longer fast enough, right? Because that is very hard thing to get at, right? Yeah, for sure. But I mean, look, thank you very much for sharing this. I mean, I didn't know that there's this fork. To my defense and my ego, because I, like everyone else, I have my own as well. It's only 3 years old, it seems. So to my defense, I'm not far off, I guess. What's your recommended time to focus? 45 to 50 minutes, and then you make a break for like 5 to 20 minutes. But a 5 to 10 minutes break is better. That's apparently scientifically what some scientists said. Can I prove that myself? No. Of course, all of these rules, all of these numbers from the books, you always have to give them. You always have to adjust these numbers because we're all people. We're different. We live in different circumstances. We have different characteristics. We focus differently. Our passion is different. Our IQ is different, right? So we cannot take, like, this is just a baseline, right? A baseline is, let's say, 45, 50 minutes. But is it an hour for you or 90 minutes? Maybe. You have to kind of, it's very hard to be so pragmatic and like evaluate these things yourself, right? No, I definitely do want to try it, man. Why not? I mean, I'm gonna add this to our list here. Swap Redis with its fork, basically. Why not? I mean, if it does the same crap, and if it's true everything you're saying, of course I still have to. I do trust you, but I have to find cons and pros, right? We all know, and let's face it, you have sold it really well, but I'm 100% sure there's some consequences of that as well. There's some things that are worse than Redis as well. It's never one or the other. Like, it's never like absolute. So I'm sure that if we spend 20 minutes now researching this, that we would come to a conclusion. It's like, okay, well, this is the trade-off. This is what we get here, and this is what we get here. I have a hard time believing it's a one-way street, right? So from this latest book that I'm reading, this is what Scott Young says. So let me just I'm trying to share information to better yourselves and myself, and I'm also trying to share this information to better memorize the books that I read myself. So what Scott Young says about focus is this: every time when you sit, give yourself 5 minutes to focus. Of course, assuming that you have created your environment around you so you can focus. So again, move your phone to a different room, shut down a streamer like Alex, shut down video games, Netflix. You need to be present and focused, right? That's why it's called focus. You cannot watch a YouTube and do something and call yourself focused. It makes no sense. Number two, if 5 minutes, if you can't focus within 5 minutes, if you're falling short, then you need to actually you have to, unfortunately, so you have to kind of force yourself to focus, right? Then you need to make these Pomodoro breaks, like every 50 minutes, then you make a break. And then once you kind of overcome the 5 minute trap, the Pomodoro trap, then you start using the calendar. So you could say that calendar is a thing when you have already built yourself up. Okay, I have no problem starting something very quickly. I have no problem doing it for n number of minutes. I have no problem making a break. So once this system works, then you start using a calendar. Then you say on Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. I'll be learning Postgres. Once you fail at these, and it's imperative that you stick, you go back to the previous levels. Okay, so I'm failing with the calendar. That doesn't work out. I cannot stick to these things. Fall back again to Pomodoro, and then whatever 5 minutes thing, right? So it is it's almost like you're building up a habit in the gym. It's the same like building up a habit to stop smoking or stop drinking. Building a focus is a habit that one has to build as well, right? Actually, I don't even know. I mean, I think Cedric has made these things. I don't even know why he did that. But I did play a guitar a few times on a stream. Maybe even saxophone. I don't remember if I played saxophone on the stream. I think I did. Oh man, this state is so bad. Okay, let's kind of start. I didn't write a single line of code. I think this or maybe we did something. Okay, interesting. Cards to review 6. Okay, I really need to kind of... Okay, maybe tonight I should just sit after the stream and finalize this feature and release it. But why does it say... Give me 2 seconds. Mastery track. Recall attempt. Track node. Track dependency. Did I remove it all? Let's see. Flashcards. Okay, there are some flashcards. Yeah, I can see that. Was there not a way to? I actually thought. Okay, we can. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Cool. Okay, so yeah, so 0 cards to review. Okay, that's weird. That was weird. I actually don't like this view at all. Browse tracks. And some of you said that we should have like some platform-based tracks. So when we release this feature, some of you said that some tracks should kind of exist already. And I think I wrote some script for that. Generate platform tracks. Yes. The thing is it gonna be weird though? That's my problem. Have you tried Cloud Code? I did. Definitely I did, yes. And I think it's very good. Some of these, Anthropic is really doing well. It's crazy. Man, I don't know. I just still, yeah, this UI. You know what? Let's actually do some shit here. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so one thing that's kind of blocking me now to release this to production is, well, several things, but I'm a perfectionist. So let's kind of do one thing. Oh, AB Knight, okay, I'm very sorry, man. I just saw that. Wait, let me check. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Give me 1 second. Let me go. Let's fix that immediately. Import resume. So when you click this button here, you're saying it doesn't do this. Because I'm also, this computer is in Windows 11 as well. Just make sure when trying to update experience from importing from resume, it brings up the file dialog, but you can't click open after selecting it, okay? Let me go to my LinkedIn. Okay, no, that sucks. Well, let's fix that immediately. That should be so. Let me save this to PDF, and let's just live test it together. Import, downloads, profile, resume uploaded, processing. Okay, now our yeah, that's super weird. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it did work here. Now, of course, I need to fix. I just realized that. No, actually, it's fine. So AI. So everything was imported at least. Of course, I have stream data 3 times now. That's another thing. But I do say that, hey, you will have to like manually adjust if AI kind of sucks. So, so what happened to you? I don't know. You were in Edge. Yeah, please try, because this is very important that it works. If you watch a video and convert the code to the language you're reading... No, I mean, if you're watching a video and then stopping the video and doing things, that is not passive. I agree. That's active learning, yes. But if you're just watching a video and then closing it and not doing anything, that's passive learning, yeah. You're not really doing anything. So it's very simple concept, right? So yeah, for sure, man. Okay, so I think one thing that I'm a little bit irritated now with is UI-wise, and UI is tough because it's so important, and yet there's so many things to do, is that for the learning part, for the learning feature we are now about to finalize soon, there's so many states that we manually have to get to in order to validate if they're correct, right? So that just means one thing. I think it's the time now that we go ahead and create stories for a lot of things in there, right? So let's say here, in order for us to release this feature into production, we need to be able to view all the views and states as part of Storybook. Do the following: ensure that we have all the stories and their states for the learning feature. If some components are naturally not broken down according to our agents file, right? AKA you creating stories is hard, then break them out. Okay. Because we need to be able to look at, there's so many things, like there's a part where we import things, there's validation, there's a lot of these small views that I can't see, and right. And actually what I really want us to do is play with Playwright a bit. So maybe tomorrow or next time I have the time to stream, we can kind of go and implement Playwright a little bit, some end-to-end tests, at least for our critical flows. So, you know, I don't have to worry too much about these types of things. So I would say maybe in one of the next streams we will add some end-to-end tests, and finally, so I can sleep better at night. Yeah, this is a lot of states, but that's what we need. Yep, that's what we need. Yes. Give me 1 second, I just realized one thing that I could technically do. Yeah, okay. So let's generate a bunch of these stories. That's gonna spend a lot of tokens, but that's what it is. That's what we need to kind of start auditing and validating if... Abinite, that would be amazing. Let me also take a look at our monitoring as well. But I don't think that... shit. Let me take a look at our monitoring here. See if you're getting any errors or anything like that. No, not really, no. These are just a bunch of bots we're getting hit by, but that's nothing uncommon. Yeah, this is me. I caused this error intentionally. Huh. If you could like post it somewhere on Discord, or I don't know. We also have the Discord channel. I don't use that Discord for anything. So not getting an actual error, okay? I wonder if it's the size. Maybe it's too big. I don't know. How big is your file? No, then it's not that, yeah. Insomniac, I think VS Code is really bad, man. I mean, I used VS Code before the AI era started, and VS Code is great. I mean, VS Code, I mean, Cursor is a fork of VS Code, so it's all the same crap. But I think that Cursor is several times better, man. And let me try to evaluate what I mean by better. So first and foremost, I've tested VS Code actually recently with 4 different agent plugins, Continue, and a bunch of them. It's just terrible. The way that it writes the files, it's slow, it's inaccurate. User experience in VS Code relative to Cursor is just bad. So Cursor has better UI and UX. Everything feels faster, quicker, more accurate. It's very hard to define, right? It's very hard for me to put into words, so my feedback is more clear and valuable. But just everything about VS Code felt bad. So relative to Cursor. And I think it becomes very apparent if you try it for one day, it's going to become super apparent, right? So I don't think it's about the models or anything like that. I think it's more than that. Okay, opening Discord. Give me a second. Google Anti-Gravity doesn't have a business package yet, so I don't know. They still only have a free plan. So once they release a proper version of that, then you mean... No, I mean, it does show the tooltip. It does show the tooltip, Mr. Situation. Maybe it's too quick, but it does show it. Crystallized, hey, yeah, they're just asking, okay. Custom files. Can you, who was it? AB Knight, can you try not to select this custom files thing? I can see that here, custom files is selected for you. Experience is here. No, but that's not where you do it, Mr. Situation. If you go to your profile here, this is where your experience is. And actually, that's another good maybe sense of feedback. I'm just kind of trying to observe your natural expectation where this would be. So it seems, Mr. Situation, that you thought experience is also going to be there. So, but no, if you go to experience here, this is where you can import your resume. Let me actually write that as a feedback, because that's the best possible feedback, is almost observing a user, what their expectations. Mr. Situation looked for importing CV experience under the dashboard. Maybe we should also add that there. Nice, awesome feedback. And then also, I'm a QA. I know Java, Spring Boot, but still, I mean, what can you do? I mean, I don't know, man. You have to network. You have to go to events. You have to keep you have to keep fighting for it. Pretty much like everyone else. That's how it is. That's how it is. And if nobody wants to hire you, literally nobody, and if you're not getting far into the rounds, then there's something wrong that you're doing. So you either lack skills or you lack an ability to sell yourself, right? Because you have to understand that you are, I am, all of us are living products, and each one of us wants what each one of us wants. So there's a bunch of other people as well who want to get that same job that you want to get, and you need to appear, you don't have to be better than them, you have to appear better than them, right? So what can you do? Well, maybe that's your problem now, because I think at this point you're very desperate, and showing that you're desperate is not gonna get you hired. And you don't go randomly to people like this on a random stream and ask them like, that's so fucking stupid, man, like I would definitely not hire you right now, because that is the lamest fucking thing I've heard. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Will you hire me? Who the fuck are you, bro? You just showed up here 3 seconds ago. What type of stupid fucking question is that? Oh my fucking god, I don't know how people piss me like this in 3 seconds, bro. Will you hire me? I just showed up on your YouTube 3 seconds. Yeah, I will definitely hire you, man, because I know nobody else. I'll hire you, fucking dude from YouTube that just passed randomly through my stream, and it's never gonna pass, right? Oh my god, bro. Jesus fucking Christ, man. What is happening? Man, I got caught. I got caught in it, I admit. I was truly rage baited. I admit, at least. Yeah, man, I'll just hire you. Definitely. I know nobody in this life. Just you. I just waited for you to show up on YouTube, and I'll definitely do it. Oh my god, bro. What is happening? What the fuck is happening, man? You didn't ruin my mood, man, at all. You didn't ruin my mood at all. It's just, you literally discovered what your problem is, man. You will never ever get a job like that. You show up somewhere randomly. This is normal mood. This is normal me, exactly. You don't show up literally at someone's door and it's like, do you want to hire me? Who are you, man? Did you put in any effort, right? Okay, I'll calm down. I'm sorry, man. No hard feelings. It's just, come on. Put in some effort, man. Thanks for being on. Of course, dude. But you need to work on how you represent yourself, man. You don't just go and ask a person you never saw in your life 3 seconds ago, do you want to hire me, man? You will not get far doing that. Right? It's absurd, man. It's completely absurd. And the fact that you didn't know that it's absurd is even more problematic. Fuck is this, bro? I mean, there's like what India has like what 1.4 billion population, right? So it's just the game's number, right? Is that what's missing, really? Nah. Okay, so here are all of our states from the whole feature, right? Yes, good. So you see, like this kind of sucks ass, right? That's terrible. Then, you know, now we can kind of focus, narrow down. Insomniac, yes, actually, I literally have that. I wanted to do it this stream. You can still do that. Yes, you can go to community and you can search for Alexander like this, and then you will find me. But this week I will add the search. I got very much inspired by Mastodon, another awesome platform. And here, like, for example, what they do, you see, when you type in, let's say, Alexander or whatever, let's say they type, you know, insomniac, right? You can see there, like, go to hashtag. And we also have hashtags in Programmer Network. Many of you don't know, but you are following hashtags. So in Programmer Network, if you go to /hashtags, we have, these are our hashtags, right? So we already have all of the infrastructure. It's just I need to improve these views. So for sure, man, I think I'm gonna literally replicate what they have on Mastodon, and I'm gonna implement the same thing, exactly the same this week. Maybe even tonight or tomorrow, I don't know, because we literally just need the UI. We have the whole infrastructure for this already. We have the features for this already. Fuck, I mean, we could literally implement this already now, because it's so easy, because I already have it in my head. Because essentially clicking on one of these would yeah, okay, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Node detail. Let me just see if there's any more bugs in these stories. Node not found. Great. Loading node. Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of these things. I'll kind of... I think, man, that unfortunately, and I see that myself, content knowledge sharing is dead. But I don't think, in my opinion at least, I don't think it's dead because of AI. I think it has been dead for a long time, and that's why so for example, I recorded some videos on YouTube that I genuinely know that are amazing, because I made them fully based on my experience. So they're not like me sitting in a room and reading a tutorial and then recording a video. They're literally based on experience. And then they get like 400 views. Number one, it's such a massive competition on YouTube that it's almost meaningless to record videos unless you're going to like advertise them. You know, YouTube has this like you can push your video to more people if you pay. And I think second and way more bigger problem is that people just can't watch things anymore, man. An average person is absolutely unable to focus. So I think it's just a mixture of things. It's like on one hand, you have people who can't really finish more than 2 minutes of a video. And then two, it's just, it's such a tough game to compete, man. Actually, Mr. Situation, I agree with you as well, man, but I would actually have to agree with both of you. Let me show you one thing. Let me show you one research, Mr. Situation, that you will agree with, because it's not my opinion. Stats on Udemy. Let me try to find that for you. Listen to this. Read this, Mr. Situation. It is a widely circulated statistic. Circulated, emphasis though, but let's give it a benefit of the doubt. It is a widely circulated statistic that an average of 70% of students who enroll in Udemy course never even started. So never even started. And only about 30% of enrolled students complete the course content. This phenomenon is not unique to Udemy. Low completion rates are a known challenge in the broader online learning system, MOOCs. And I actually think, to be very honest with you, that this statistic is actually even more worse than this. So if I recall, and I read this long ago, this statistic is true, but I think out of the 30% of those who click start, I believe that around 6% actually finish the course. So in simple terms, 94% of people never finish it. 70% never even start it, right? So, and as you can see here, lack of accountability, self-paced learning allows for maximum flexibility, but often lacks the external pressure, structure, and accountability. And this is exactly when we speak about paying for, let's say, paying, for example, for a bootcamp or university. You could say that the core valuable feature of your money investment is that you kinda owe to yourself not to waste, let's say, thousands of dollars, right? But when you buy a course that costs like a coffee, like $10, this is the problem. I would also say, and I respect Udemy creators a lot, because I know I worked for almost 6 years as a mentor. I know how many hours it takes to make a good course. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with Udemy, biggest problem with many YouTubers, is that many of these people never had a job in their lives. I think for me personally, it's crucial that before you decide to listen to someone, before you decide to consume content somewhere, you have to do your due diligence and say, okay, who the fuck is Alex? Who is this guy that I'm watching now? Does he work? Where does he work? What does he do? Why would I trust what he says? The biggest problem with the Udemy is that anyone, literally anyone, can go and sell a course. And a lot of these courses, and I also bought many courses in Udemy, a lot of these courses is a person reading official documentation and then recording a video. That's why a lot of these videos, they're like 60 hours long. And it's just useless information for the most part, right? So I think there are various reasons why people don't finish them. It's not just this, it's just lack of authority, if you may. Like it's a very different thing when somebody that you trust teaches you versus someone who is like sitting in their home, right? AI is gonna take all jobs. Just give up already, man. Your mentality is great. I just have to tell you, continue that path. Actually, if I was you, I wouldn't even do anything. I would say, just because AI is gonna take our jobs, it's gonna kill us all. Dude, just sit down in front of your TV now. Quit this stream and don't do anything. You're 100% right, so fuck off this stream right now and go do nothing, okay? Just get the fuck out of here. There you go. That's my answer to you. Stupid fucking cunt. I don't give a fuck what you're gonna do. Fuck off. There we go. Stupid statements. Stupid statements deserve stupid answers. That's how it is. All right, let's get back to this. No time to waste on fucking idiots. This planet is full of them. We need to focus on people who are not that. People who are already stuck in their deep. Any tips for quitting nicotine? Man, you can see how I am, Mr. Situation. I truly am a stoic in every sense of that word. If I tell you my opinion, you would laugh, but I would just say do it, man. That's how I operate in my life. When I decide something, I just do it. And I would die if I wouldn't do it, because my ego would hurt me deeply, right? So it's just, I feel so dumb saying this, because it's just like, I know it's not that simple, but it is. You get what I mean? It's like people make it out to be like, yeah, if I quit smoking, I'll die. But actually, you will not, right? You get what I mean? So it's like, just be strong-willed. Be strong in your head. It's that simple, really. I don't know. There you go. That's how I operate, at least. I go to gym 11 in the night. You know, when I have a lot of stuff to do with my kids and family. And that's just how I do it, man. It's like, man, you go to gym at 11? It's like, man, that's the only time I can go sometimes, and that's when I go. If I don't go at 11, I wouldn't go at all, which is way worse, right? So that's just how it is. But again, that's how I operate, and that's how I live. I know that I know it's a little bit shitty to say, but I genuinely mean it. I genuinely mean it. I mean, the perception is such a strong thing in life, because when you think about it, dude, like there's literally, like, dude, let me show you one thing that's just absurd, right? How many children are starving today? I know I don't want to be a party breaker here. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to prove a point of perception, a point of self-realization. 118 million people on this earth are starving. Basically, they don't have food. This is how my mentality works. Just hear me out. It makes no sense for most of you, probably, but this is how I operate. When I read this statistic, and then if I said relative to this that I can't quit smoking, I would literally hit myself in the face instantly. That's how absurd to me it is. You get what I mean? It's like when you compare our fellow human beings that right now are dying because they're hungry, and then I'm crying, let's say, because I didn't get a latest iPhone, or because I have nicotine addiction, right? It's almost surreal in my head. I'm ashamed. Like, I instantly get this sense of shame. It's like, I just think of these fucking people who are living in the worst possible. And you don't have to do this. I mean, you can do... That's why the perception is so important, to be able to understand how well we all are right now, which is the fundamental issue, in fact. Because we are so well that we are drowning in these silly, idiotic things, right? So that's how it is. That's how I think, man. That's literally. I swear to God. Whenever I need a reminder of how like unreal I am, I just find some of the data like this. Failed to load learning tracks. Okay, let's see. Failed. Okay, this is absolutely terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Where is this crap from? Learning tracks error. Okay, let's... Oh, crap. let's use our CTA component for this error. Give me 2 seconds. It's very important. People need to spend way more time with themselves. I think people need to learn how to be alone, to self-conceptualize and self-evolve and self-criticize, because I think once you fall trap of social media, once you fall trap to fear of missing out and all of that modern crap, you kind of get lost as a human being, right? You kind of stop realizing, you know, many things. So that's why it's so important to think all the time and to have a sense of things, right? So I think, as someone who also lives in Denmark, I think the only thing, I love this country a lot and I think it's great. But let me tell you, one thing. So I agree with you, Mr. Situation, a lot. I think the biggest problem in Denmark and in similar countries. So I used to live in Sweden as well for 5 years. So I would say that the main issue with countries like this is that because people are so well off, there's such a small incentive to do more than just your job, for example, that it's like, for example, like people are so well with their salaries and everything else that there's really no incentive to do more. It's like you're kind of where you are and you stick there, right? And this is kind of the only thing that I wish that it was like similar to the US, for example, as well. Like they, you know, people who want to build more than just let me make a salary, whatever, and they want to do more. I wish that there was more of that, right? That's what I at least lack. Exactly. And this is the only, I mean, most of my family is in the US there, even though they're, yeah, but that's kind of what I miss, honestly. Yeah, exactly. The Yente law, the 10 or 11 rules of Yente as well is true. Don't be better than others. Don't show, yeah. Who the hell knows, right? There isn't a perfect system. You know, I would still choose this, or I still love Nordic countries more than anything, right? To be honest, I love living here, and, you know, especially when you have kids. I have 2 small kids, right? You know, it's lovely here. I mean, I cannot complain. It's just if somebody told me, okay, you have to handpick something, I would say I wish that people are more incentivized to do more things than just, you know, okay, I'm gonna go to work and then have 3 vacations this year and that's it, right? That's the only thing I wish. Taxes are insane. Again, very relative thing. Insane relative to what, right? Everything is relative, man. That is very, 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 very open for discussion, right? Okay. All right, so taxes are insane relative to salaries. Not really, no. I have to disagree with that. And let me lay out my argument. I might be wrong, as always, of course, but hear me out. So I think so this is kind of, I'm not a financial expert, but let me tell you my understanding of taxes and finance, right? So you have some tax, right? Hear me out, and then I'll yeah, but hear me out. And I think we might find some middle ground at least. We have tax and salary, right? So this is how I correlate the two, right? So, and then of course you have services. You have services, right? So you pay tax. So you get a salary, which is then taxed. And then out of that tax, you get a service, right? So let's say it goes 1, and then the government takes some, but then you get some services, right? For example, I pay on my salary now, it's a dynamic tax, right? So I pay around 38% up until certain point, and then I pay more than 40%, and then I pay more than 40% for the rest, because my salary is pretty high, so you know, more you make, more they take here in Denmark, right? But okay, that's right. So let's imagine that I pay 40% tax, right? But what it is that I get from this, right? Okay, well, you get obviously free education, right? So, you know, everything. The entire education system is free. System is free. That's what you get. Healthcare is free. So you get a private doctor that you can call any day. Okay? Okay, so and of course you get a lot of other things. But let's just fixate on the two most important ones. Education and healthcare are free. Now, this is a problem that I see in the opposite spectrum. When this tax thing is super low, when tax is low, responsibility usually falls on the good faith of person. And let me elaborate what I mean here. So typically societies where tax is super low, in these societies you have to deal with your finances, right? So I, for example, know I have some friends in Switzerland, the country that you're mentioning. I think that how much money do Swiss people owe to their government? I know that let me show you. Swiss people generally owe little to their federal government due to the strong finance, okay, with federal debt low, okay, but they have significant private debts, mainly mortgages, house, okay, for homes they own, plus unpaid, yeah, exactly. So this is what I was trying to target. That's why I'm trying to use Google and some facts at least. So this is what right? Plus unpaid taxes, insurance, and utilities with younger unemployed folks and foreign more prone to debt. So essentially, in simple words, if the government doesn't take this from you, and if this responsibility falls on you, there's a high chance that you will say, fuck. For example, I know in Switzerland, you're getting brutto salary. So you get a whole salary, and then it's your responsibility to take a piece of this, put it here, take a piece of this, put it here, and then, you know, patch up, right? Sure, I get it. Let me generalize a little bit, and we don't even have to use Switzerland at all. It's not an exception. Any country works like this, right? But in simple words, these systems overlap more than you think. You believe that this is a lot, but this oftentimes is less, depending how this often falls less depending how responsible you are as an individual towards yourself and your family. Because no matter what, at any given moment in time, if something here in Denmark happens to me or my family or my colleague or my neighbor, I know that everybody will be well off. In societies where tax is low, that means that something else is also low. Either salaries are way lower, or it's not an automatic system, it's a chip-in system where you are responsible for it, right? I do believe that this tax in Denmark is justified for the values you get, and the value that's hard to quantify is the social aspect value. Value where you don't see homeless people, there's no homeless people in Denmark. I think for 10 years living here, I think I've seen 3 people on the street, and they're there willingly. There's no beggars, there's no shitty roads, there's no dirty parks, there's no trash on the street, there's no unfinished roads. Everything is tip-top. So this is what you get for this. Right, so there are many things that are hard to quantify personally, individually. It's like, yeah, but what it is that I get for 40%. You get all of this, infrastructure, schools, etc., 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 right? I agree, Mr. Situation. I agree, 100%. I agree with you. I agree. I definitely agree with you, but you know, you can't have it all, I guess. That's just how it is. By the way, let me shamelessly, for those of you who didn't already, please go sign up. As you can see, I wrote it. We're trying to build the most awesome platform ever for us nerds. So if that's something you would want to see come to life over time, as it's already there, please give it a shot. Nice, man. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. I'm not sending out any emails yet. So you will not get any emails yet on Programmer Network, because I'm not doing any re-engagement, because I'm still trying to figure out how to annoy people the least amount possible by providing also the most value possible. So in simple words, what I basically wrote here at the start is, if you respect your time, your privacy, your focus, this is the place for you. So it's like, how do we build a platform where you get value without being bombarded by bullshit, right? So, you know, it's up to you for now to memorize that Programmer Network exists and log in and do something, right? So for now, you will not get any emails or anything like that. I think, chap, that Denmark is also very specific, like most other countries. Like, for example, in Denmark, if you go to Jutland, if you go away from Copenhagen, you can buy the house like ridiculously cheap. It's like there's some houses you can find now online that's unbelievable. You can buy a house for like 40,000 euros. If you want to buy a place in Copenhagen, you will not buy it below 1 million euros, right? So if you want to buy a house in Copenhagen, it's going to be around 2 million euros, 1.5 million euros minimum. If you want to buy an apartment from 80 to 100 square meters, it's going to be between 700,000 euros to 1 million euros, something like that, right? So the differences are astronomical. So if you want to live here in Copenhagen, it is brutal. It is absolutely surreal. If you want to move to some other place, like away from the capital, then you can buy realistically something pretty easy, right? Okay, so I basically have all of these states now, and as you can see, there's so many bloody states, man, in this new feature. So that's why I needed this, because it's so hard to finish this without actually like being able to see this all individually. No nodes available, yes. So error loading session, loading this crap, invalid session item. We are paying 17.5k for rent here in a center of Copenhagen. Yeah, it's insane, man. Yeah, that is absurd, man. That is, I want to cry. I want to cry now. Yeah, like literally, I mean, please, of course, if anything that I say sound hyperbolic, I always urge you guys to check everything I say. I genuinely try. Correctness for me is very important. So if you don't trust me, you can validate this information online. Let me show it to you. It's Mary's sister. Yeah, exactly.
New follower detected. Programmer network updated.
So you can see in Copenhagen, 10,000 crowns for one room apartment, 32 square meters. Look at this, 32 square meters. This is 1,500 euros or whatever it is, right? 24k, 16k. Yeah, this is kind of, yeah. You need around 10,000 euros sometimes to just enter the place. Just, yeah, it's insane, man. Yep. Prices here, man, are absurd. Salaries are, of course, higher, but it doesn't matter. That's why, you know, these raw numbers mean nothing because... Yeah, this is hilarious, man. This is crazy. Yeah, this is insane. I mean, this is funny, yeah. It's like almost like a joke, man. Jesus Christ, man. I want to cry now. I could save like 1,500 euros every month on rent. Oh my fucking... Look at this, dude. That is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. That's what it is. I mean, if you want to live, you know, you know, that's why, you know, it's just I have access to everything here. And we live in a very central in Copenhagen, but it is just what it is, man. You get something, you lose something, right? And all right, my friends. I don't know, I'm completely out of focus right now. I can't do anything. I think I would like to round it up, even though I do enjoy talking to you guys a lot. Don't misunderstand me. I just also feel bad for wasting some of your time because, you know, we haven't been coding much. We had a lot of nice discussions, but I also kind of feel, you know, I feel that, you know, and I can hear that my kids, my wife and my 2 kids will go to bed soon, so I want to put my kid to sleep. That is our ritual. The thing is, again, I mean, salaries, that's why I keep saying, and I'm sorry for repeating that like an idiot, but everything is relative, right? I mean, I make more than 6 grand a year, right? And that means absolutely nothing because these numbers are only meaningful if our base living standards would be the same. So when people say, oh, a developer in Silicon Valley makes 300 grand, right? 300K. It's like, yes, dude, but they pay 5K rent for 20 square meters apartment. Like, what are you talking about, right? So it's like these numbers are meaningless without more context, right? Because salaries always follow the living standard, the pricing and stuff like that, right? So that's just how it is. And you know, it's if living cost for all of us universally was the same, then you could say, wow, this person is making 10 times more than me. But once you account for everything, right, the living costs and apartments and all of that, then it very much equalizes, right? So it's not that, you know, of course there are some exceptions, you know, there's some super talented people that do something highly exceptional, you know, unlike you and me, we're just regular programmers, tech leads, whatever. There are some people out there who are highly exceptional and they deserve to get paid that much. But it's a very small portion of people that make this money, right? So I would not say that, oh, there's just a bunch of developers making 300K. No. You really have to be very exceptional and very lucky to get yourself to that place, of course, right? So that's at least what I think. Okay, my dear friends, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. Some jokes, some alter egos, me getting The best be, I do actually have Claude code already from my company, but if you want to share it, man, please do. But yeah, I already have it. My company is paying for that already. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, dude, send it on Discord if you can or whatever. Why not, man? I would appreciate it. I mean, anything that can help us boost some credits to make us build our programmer network platform, man. Of course, I would be highly grateful to you, dude. Why not? For sure. Definitely. Awesome, folks. Thank you again. Take care. Be smart. Read a book or two over this vacation. Get yourself this one. If you want to learn about meta learning, I highly advise it. I highly recommend it. And happy holidays, everybody. Good to meet you all again, and good to know you all. Take care, guys. Enjoy your time. Bye bye. See you soon.